How's it going, everyone? It's Gavin from Balls to You, and in this video I want to talk about how important het animals are. Now, whether that be het clown, het pied, het ultramale, het exantic, het hypo, it doesn't really matter. The het part is what we're going to discuss. Now, obviously het stands for heterozygous, which basically means it carries one part of the visual trait. Okay, so I'm not going to try and get too much technically into genetics, and I will do a sort of let's say idiot proof genetic class video further down the line. There are plenty of videos out there. I know Rudy at Rude Dog Reptiles has done plenty of genetic videos which will help you explain, and other breeders like Justin Kabalka have also done genetic videos. This isn't about genetics, this is talking about the importance of a het animal, and in particular what we're going to discuss is we're going to talk about the female hets rather than the male hets, and I'll explain why. Males and females can vary in price, as you see on the morph market. So in other words, depends what you're looking for. A male or a female may predict, or may basically make that price either higher or lower depending on what you're looking for. 9 times out of 10, if it's a new gene, the male price will be through the roof, and the female price will be more of a, well, it'll still be expensive, but it's a bit more cheaper, if you like, than the male. And the reason behind that is because when you have a male, you can breed it to multiple females and produce more animals. So potentially, if you were a type of breeder where you wanted to flood the market with that particular gene, then it's very easy to do so, hence bringing the price of that gene down. Now, I do this as a hobby, and the passion for me outweighs the money. However, I still have a respect for those people who do it as a business, and I have a respect for those people who have brought that particular gene at the height of its pricing range, let's say. So marketplace and market value really is one thing, and again, that's maybe worth talking about in another video. What we're going to discuss here is the power of a het. And again, like I said, we're going to talk more about the female side of things. So let's just talk about the clown. Okay, so a normal clown female is roughly about £400 in the UK. Okay, as an adult it is worth substantially more. So as a proven breeder, adult female, it is worth more. So basically it goes up. Same with the pied. You could look at the pied. The pied females are about £350 to £400. Again, as an adult proven breeder, the price on that female will be higher. So you could say buying a female pied or a female clown as a hatchling is an investment. However, you've got to grow that female up. It's going to take 2 years, possibly even longer sometimes. So it's time. But let's face it, these are investments. The way I look at this, as Ozzy said, you know, this is an orchid or an orchard. An orchid? An orchard? An orchard? You know, them places where you grow, you know, the trees and they sort of blossom into fruit. Yeah, you know what I'm on about. So anyway, it's one of them. Okay, you plant the seeds and you basically grow your collection into these beautiful trees where then you pick the fruit, and it's sort of like the fruit of your hard labour, if you like. That's why the price can predict whether you buy a hatchling or whether you buy an adult, because like I said, it can be substantially different. So for example, like I said, a hatchling could be about £400. A female proven breeder could be double that or a bit more. Okay, why are we discussing hets and not the visuals? Because I really do think hets are undervalued as a breeder, if you like. A lot of people, and I know where this sort of stems from. This is stemmed from back in the day when breeders were selling hets that weren't really hets. So in other words, you know, I've come from the days of poss hets. So when you were keeping back your possible hets because you were breeding together a het to a normal, and you're just producing possets, and then you would keep those back and breed them back together to try and produce the visual and prove them all out, so on and so forth. Well, believe it or not, because there was big money involved, a lot of people were selling Hets and they weren't really Hets. Okay, so a lot of people, even though we try and educate people coming into the hobby on how to buy and where to buy animals from, we still have that linger of doubt. And so Adam over at TA Exotics did an awesome video regarding Hets. I'll try and put his link in the description box below for you guys to go over and have a watch of his video. He basically went to buy or got offered an animal, and he hit the nail on the head. I'm not going to go into it, but I'll put a link into Adam's video and you guys get over there and have a bit of a watch. But what I'm trying to say is that that sort of damaged the reputation of a Het. So nowadays a lot of people are very wary of buying a Het, which I understand. So hence, if you're going to be wary, so a lot of people bring the price down. Which again, we're talking about price and the market value and all that sort of stuff, and again, we've got to take all, every aspect into consideration. With a Het female, and I'm going to put the Het female into the spotlight, and a Het female, to me, I look at her as valuable as a visual, because the good thing about Hets is, to me, you get a great variation. Okay, so in other words, if you put a clown to a clown, everything's going to be clown. And it's a bit like, yeah, you're going to cut the clutch open, you're going to be excited because you're going to hit clowns, but you're going to hit clowns. It's a clown to a clown or a pied to a pied. You're going to have 100%. Okay, to me, when you've got that Het involved, it sort of makes it exciting. And when you smash the odds, it just makes that whole breeding process, that whole 4 to 6 months of breeding that female, or the whole 2 years before that you grew that female up, well worth it. Don't get me wrong, when you don't hit the odds, it can be a real bummer, but it swings and roundabouts. And sometimes even the best breeders in the world, like Justin and Ozzy and Marcus Jane, with all the will in the world, they can't predict what they're going to get in their eggs when they breed in a visual to a Het. It's been well documented that sometimes they've completely missed. But for me, when you produce Hets, the value of that Het is really sort of like underlined. So I'm going to show you an animal, okay, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to explain to you why I think this female, and she's just one of many Hets that I've held back, and I've produced my own Hets, and I'm breeding my own Hets, why I feel they are worth as much as a visual female. Okay, so let's have a look at that female and then we'll come back to this. Okay, here we have a female, possible vanilla, black pewter, so that's black pastel, bamboo Het clone. Now this female here I produced, and I was in two minds whether to keep her back. I have actually got a brother, which is absolutely amazing, just like she is. Now she is absolutely stunning, and I keep sort of saying this, but even if, let's just take a look at her. The bamboo, for those who don't know, is a part of the blue-eyed leucistic complex. So you can make white snakes with this particular combo. But we've also got black pewter. Okay, we've got black pastel in there, and possible vanilla. So let's just take away the Het clown side of things. This female on her own, I would be more than happy to have in my collection, just to open that drawer every day and look at her. She's a female, she's growing like a weed. She absolutely just, every time I open a tub, she blows my mind. I've got this girl up for sale on Morph Market because, like I said, I have got a brother, and I've kept back some other Het clown females, which I feel they aren't as powerful as her, but I've also got other projects within the clown stuff that I'm going with. So there's no point me really keeping both her and her brother back. Obviously I want to keep the brother back because I want to produce that bamboo clown and some other projects. He will fit in well with the female that I've got in mind for him, so that's why I'm keeping him as opposed to her. However, she will only increase in value as she gets older, and once she's proven, again, absolutely amazing. Now for me, something very simple being bred to her, something like a normal clown male, the possibilities of what you could hatch are endless. I don't believe you could even hatch them all in 2 lots of clutches. So let's say you kept her for 2 years, you bred her at the end of those 2 years, you got a clutch, you wouldn't even hit all the combinations that she could potentially throw in that first clutch. I don't think you could hit it in the second clutch. It depends on how many eggs you have, but again, the combination is endless. So this girl herself is absolutely stunning, and not only that, the babies she will produce will have such a variation, it's endless, you know. So for me, something like this girl is priceless, literally priceless. But we have to respect the market, and we have to respect other people who've got the bamboo clowns and the bamboo het clowns in their collection, and we're going to respect that marketplace. Simple. But for me, she will either sell or I'll keep her, and if I keep her, she's only going to be worth more money as an adult. The price is only going to go up in value. So when you're making animals like this, don't be afraid to either keep them or ask the correct money, and just be prepared to hold on to them, because I can tell you now, she will make some amazing babies. And again, you will not be disappointed when you keep these hets back and you breed them, because the quality that you're going to be working with is going to just set your animals apart from everyone else. Look at that. Okay, we're back. As you saw from that video, I tried to get across basically what the female was worth, what she was, and obviously how I look at it and the breeding future of that female. So what we're going to do is discuss here now the het side of things. So if I was to produce from that female a vanilla, or possible vanilla, let's say, let's say vanilla. So if I was to produce from that female a vanilla black pewter bamboo clown, okay, that animal is going to be worth a lot of money. Okay, it's not about world's first, it's about world's best. But that female, that one female, that het female that's now produced this visual version of her as a clown, will basically get your money back and then some. Because that animal, and again, we're respecting the marketplace and we're respecting other people's projects, is going to be worth a lot of money. But how many people do you think are going to be able to afford to buy that animal? There aren't going to be many. You may even only hit one, and you may want to keep that one back as a visual to use in the future to produce your own hets in a more, with something other added, with another gene added, you know. So that one animal that you will hit, that visual, and I say one, you could hit more, you may not hit any, but let's just say you hit one, is going to be well worth the investment side of that female het. And not only now have you got babies from her, you've proven her out. You've proven her to be 100% het clown, and now you've got some more substantial foundation when you do want to sell her, maybe because you've kept a visual baby back, okay, to take her place. You've proven her out, so now she's worth more money. So again, you may want to keep her. I don't know. I've kept a lot of my Hets because I just can't let them go. You know, they're worth more to me as a female breeder because they feed, they breed every year. They just absolutely annihilate food than what they're worth on morph market. So sometimes when you're growing your collection and when you're moving forward with your projects, you need to consider the Het side of things. You need to consider what a female or a male Het is worth. I brought off Aussie a Super Orange Dream, Mojave, Firefly, Het Clown male, and he's amazing. I mean, even if I never breed him to a female clown, as a good look, it is so mind-blowing. It is, I just can't get my head around it. But all I need to do is breed him to a female visual clown, or even to a female Het clown, and everything is going to be obviously Orange Dream because he's a super. But we've also got that Het gene involved. We've also got that Het clown involved. So that Het again can be awesome. It can be a real powerful gene. You know, if I was to breed him to a visual clown female, then everything's going to be Orange Dream, and them clowns, them visual clowns that I will hit, will be Orange Dream clowns. So when you are looking at buying an animal and you don't find a visual but you see a Het, consider it, because I'll guarantee you there is nothing. And every year I find myself being overwhelmed that I've proven a Het to be 100% Het, and I've produced her. But this is because what happened back in the day, we still sort of have that in the back of our mind, you know. We still wonder, you know, I'm buying this Het off this bloke who's, you never know. And that's why we as a community, or us as breeders, we try and say to the new people coming in, and even the experienced people, you know, buy from well-established people. All my Hets that I've produced, I will guarantee, because I've produced them. If I've brought a Het in and I've proved it out, I will guarantee that Het because I've proved it out. I've got photographic or video proof that I've proven that out. Okay, when you're buying a Het off a guy from the internet, on Facebook or Craigslist, whatever it may be, you just don't know. And this is what I don't understand. I have so many people message me and tell me that they've brought a Het or a supposed Het and it hasn't proven out. A good friend of mine, he's on YouTube, or they're on YouTube, should I say. I'm not going to mention who, but you know you are. Brought a Het female from a very well-established breeder, but this very well-established breeder had got quite a few animals, and he or they guaranteed it to be 100% Het. And after 3 years of putting a visual, I believe it was, don't hold me to this story, but basically it's never proved out. Never. It sort of contradicts what I've just been saying, buy from an established breeder. But what has happened is the breeder or the company have substantially basically sort of offered him an exchange. I haven't spoken to him for a few weeks, so I'm not 100% sure what's actually gone on. But because he's gone with an established breeder, it hasn't proved out. But the breeder's willing to put that right, even though they swear that it is 100% Het clown. 3 years in a row he should have thrown a clown by now, and it hasn't, which is a bit strange. But so the breeder, even though he's 100%, they're still correcting it. So basically what I'm trying to say is, even though that main breeder or that big breeder got it wrong, potentially, possibly, they're going to put it right. And the person that you've just brought that double Het pied clown off for £200, which again, if you go and watch Adam's story, he'll tell you all about it at TA Exotics. doesn't even prove out to be one of, you know, a het clown or a het pied. It just proves to be a normal or a pastel in his case. So always search out your breeder, search out the quality of the het, because that's another factor. Quality over the quantity. You know, I'd much prefer to have, here's an example. I had an option of buying a 3 gene animal or the 2 gene animal. The 2 gene animal was far superior in quality over the 3 gene animal, and I went with the 2 gene animal because that's what I want. I want that quality, and quality will always shine through. I'll guarantee you that. I can put a lot of my animals that I hold back up against the world firsts that you see on World of Ball Pythons, and I bet you guys could as well with your animals, and I'll guarantee you'll blow them out the window. So quality is equally as important as researching that breeder. But hets really do get a hard time, and again, that's just because of the history that's gone on in the past. Where we are now is a completely different time. We're in a completely different era. There's so much social media nowadays where there wasn't back then, you know. So nowadays we can call people out, you know, we can say, look, stay away from this person because they potentially sell dodgy animals, or, you know, they ship snakes out in cardboard boxes, you know. If you don't know that story, go over and Jim Godfather Exotics on his Instagram. You'll know what I mean. Hets are very important. Never underestimate a het. Never. For me, love hets. I still buy them. I still make them. I've got the ingredients to make the visuals, and I could have made tons and tons of visual ultramals or visual clowns, but I've made hets, and I've made hets for my projects for the future. Again, it's like an orchid. Orchard. There we go, orchard. It's like an orchard, you know. You're growing, you're planting those seeds, and you're growing, you're investing your time, your money. Do yourself a favour, yeah? Do it the right way, the first way. Yeah, so I'm rambling on now. There's plenty more I need to talk to you guys about. There's loads more I can fit in, but I can see now it's at 19 minutes. So I'm going to trim this down, hopefully, and get rid of some of the spaces. But yeah, hets are important, guys. Do not rule them out. And if you can't find a het, make the het, because I'll guarantee you in the future it'll be well worth it. Okay, I hope this helps, guys. I hope if there's anything you guys want to add, please put it in the comment box below. For those who can't add in the comment box, that's because you haven't got an account. Set up an account, very easy. Hit my subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and also hit that thumbs up, guys, because I really do appreciate your feedback. I really do appreciate those people who are watching and just pay attention and just listen to me rabble on. And you know, again, I love to get you guys involved, so please, let's have a discussion down below. Let's hear your thoughts, what your thoughts are on your hets that you may have or that you're considering buying, okay? So, hope you're well, take care, and I'll speak to you guys soon.